they were eager to bring what they had learned in the cities back to Mia's hometown. So they're raising their 2 kids in Longview while working for Smallwood Home, an 80-acre market, and community engagement and procurement, alongside serving on the Gilmer Chamber Board. Mia serves on the LMFA Board, LWOW Board, and I bet she'll tell what those are. I bet Longview is somewhere in there. Yeah. The First Tee Piney Woods Board and CASA Event Committee. And she and Allyson will be speaking today, and going to be kind of an informal, I think, setting. They're not going to come up here and stand on this end, but be there with you. Anyway, Mia and Allyson.
Thank you all for letting me come and hang out, and let me bring Allyson along with me as well. So on your tables, there are some 80-acre market event schedules. One thing that I'm asked often is, are we open every weekend or every other weekend? And we're actually open every other weekend because our design team loves to completely flip the house every single time. And so raise your hands again if you've ever been out to the market.
If you have.
A few of you, okay.
If you have. If you have or if you haven't.
Well, either way, if you have or haven't. So have you heard of 80-acre market?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so 80-acre market is off of 1650 and 259. And to kind of tell you a little bit of the story behind 80-acre market. So our owner, what's his name? Our boss, thank you, Josh Smallwood and his family. So they built this house in 2012, and it was their family home. And then they moved out of that house in around 2014, and so the property was still there. It was their vacation home. It was a place where we did photo shoots, we used it for business practices and things like that. And then a few of us moved from the city back to Longview, and one of the things that we voiced quite often is we just didn't feel like there was anything to do in Longview with our kids. And one story of mine that I would always tell him is we would go out to Tyler, to the Grove, where my husband and I could have brunch, and then the kids could run around and just be. And so it was one of those places where it was just fully all about the family being able to hang out, with the parents able to relax a little bit, and of course the kids just do their thing. And so we were able to kind of plant that seed into our boss, Josh. And like I said, this facility, or this house and this home, it was there. It was available. They used it for, again, just vacation homes and photo shoots and things like that. And one thing with Josh, when he thinks of something and he voices it, he's going to make it happen, which is pretty cool. And something else that he was doing at that time is he was starting to produce filming that had to do with our community and 80-acre and Smallwood, which I'll get into in a little bit, and just kind of like share their story because I have a really cool story. And so he decided to sit me and another employee down and put it on film and let us know that we were going to open what is now 80-acre market. And this was in their house, and it was one of those things where we sat down and went, okay, we're going to turn this house into what is now 80-acre market. And he asked us, how quickly can you guys do it? And if you know me, then you know that I'll give you an answer pretty quickly. And with Josh, he is the type to go, okay, go get it done. And so we had voice that we would open it within 6 weeks, and that's exactly what we did. And so we gathered our entire team together that needed help and everything that we needed to do to make the doors open and make the event happen. And so we were able to open in October 2 years ago. So it was actually my birthday weekend. And if you know, I have a twin as well. So it was our birthday weekend. And we'll get into him in a second. But it was a really cool deal where we weren't sure if anyone was going to show up or if everyone was going to show up. And the masses showed up, which was pretty awesome. And so there's a brochure that can travel around to where you guys can see. If you open it up, you can see what the house looks like. And then I'll kind of give you a little bit of a visual. But to give you kind of like a full example of what happens at 80-acre market. So when you drive into the property, you get to drive through their very beautiful driveway. And with that, when you're driving down the driveway, you see their big, beautiful plantation-style home. And within the plantation-style home, all on bottom floor, there's shopping, there's a shopping experience. And so from there, you'll see home good stuff, and you'll see kitchen apparel, or kitchen items, and you'll see apparel. You'll see just a little bit, a mix of everything. And honestly, the biggest thing with it, our designers, they will search for items, and from that go, is this something the community wants, or is this something the community needs? And if we say yes, then we bring it into the store. So you'll see a little bit of mix and match and different items. You'll also see some items from people from East Texas as well. So like a good example, our designer, her daughter, she designs earrings, and so her items are in the store. And something else that we also have in the store as well, which I think is pretty cool. Do any of you guys, because they're from here, know the Griffiths by chance? Alicia Griffith and that group? Okay, so Alicia and her mom, they make their own candles, they make their own soaps and lotions and just different really cool things. And Josh was able to bring them in and have them help us create what is also called the Bath Barn. And so you'll be able to purchase candles that are in the market, and again, lotions and bath salts and bath bombs and just all kinds of different things. But that is all produced within 80 Acre Market in Smallwoods. And again, so the big thing was we kept saying we didn't feel like there was truly anything to do in Longview that that encompassed the entire family. And for me personally, going to the Grove, I went, okay, this can't be that difficult. Like there's so much land, you know, in East Texas and Longview, and there's just so much opportunity. What can we do to make sure that happens for us? And so on the grounds, the kids are able to play. There's bounce houses, there's kids activities, whether they're free or you can pay for them. Just again, just different kinds of things to where the kids can hang out and truly enjoy their time, and then the parents also feel safe that they're running around. We also have a man cave. So those of you who your wives are going to bring you out to 80 Acre Market and you're going, come on, I'm ready to go, you don't have to do that. We have the man cave where the Masters is set up and football is set up and different things where you can truly just hang out and enjoy. And again, like I said, it's truly for the entire family. We also have food trucks, so back to the twin. So he runs hospitality. He runs our food trucks. So we have 3 to 4 different food trucks out at the market, and then we also have food trucks come out from East Texas as well. So with that, again, it's one of those places where you get to eat and you get to hang out and you get to shop, and we also have live music, and so you'll have live music to listen to out there every other weekend too. And then the last thing we also have is vendors, so you'll notice there are vendors throughout the property. And that's something we truly, again, it's back to the community. We're pretty picky on what vendors show up because we truly want to make sure it's something that we know that you guys want to see and you guys will enjoy. And something to note about that is we don't charge the vendors. And the reason why is because we truly want to make sure that this is for the community and this is something that you guys enjoy. And that's one of the things that's really big about our boss, Josh and Holly's hearts, is they are all about the community and all about making sure that if there is a problem to solve, we solve it and we do it with everyone in mind. There's also some really cool events that are going to be happening out at 80 Acre Market. And then also a lot of you guys have asked about our facility that is being built on 259, and that is our Smallwoods and 80 Acre Market facility. And so that is why I brought Allyson. She's going to tell you guys a little bit about that. Before she does, do you guys have any questions?
What time? What are the hours?
So it's every other weekend. Friday it is from 4 to 8. Saturday it's dependent on the time of year, but it is on your calendar from either 10 to 6 or 10 to 8. And then Sunday is from 12 to 6. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Allyson.
Thank you so much for letting our company come out and kind of highlight what we do and how we're a part of the community. We do appreciate the Rotary Club and the heart of y'all. And my husband's from Gilmer. We've lived in Gilmer for many years and raised our kids here. So I love what y'all are doing and we're right there with you. I want to talk a little bit about the market specifically. My name is Allyson Gann. I'm the project coordinator across several of our entities, but I love 80 Acre Market. It's where we get to invite, it's actually the only outlet we have to let people see our company. So people can't go to the print shop and see our frames that we make. They can't go and see our film crew in progress of making production films. They can't go see Sweet Honey and all the clothing that we have. So 80 Acre Market is really our only gateway right now for people to come and see who we are. I love the opportunity to represent Josh and Holly and their heart for the community. When they opened 80 Acre Market, that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted people to be able to come out, enjoy live music for free. We have complimentary water, free things for the kids to do, so that you don't have to spend a dime if you can't. He wanted it to be able to be that for the community and meet needs for everybody. So I absolutely adore the family. I love their hearts. They're great people to work for. So I can't say that enough, and I'm not trying to sell it. I just really, really enjoy it. This is actually the first year I've ever worked outside the home. So I've stayed at home with my kids for many years, and to be able to have this opportunity to go and work for something that I am passionate about and come alongside them, it's been a really big blessing. So for 80 Acre Market, can you guess how many acres we have? It did start out as 80 acre. Right now we have about 250, so it's grown. We will keep the name 80 Acre, but we have expanded to about 250 acres. Josh really wants the opportunity to be able to turn those into using the property for permaculture. I don't know if you've heard that term before, but it's really regenerative. You give back to the soil, and the soil gives back to you. So he wants to be able to do gardens and things out there to be able to give to our employees, which we already do with our egg production and also meat production. So we have meat birds that we process, and we can give those to our employees. He would love to be able to make enough produce and eggs and meat eventually to sell in our food trucks so that we can give back to our community that way. Sorry. And also our restaurant. So we will be building a restaurant on our property at some point in the near future. I did put a map on each table. I know it's kind of hard to see from here, but this is the house. And so right here around this pond is where we're going to be building a restaurant. And then up here you can see our new facility, which is about 260 square feet. It's quite close to more 300,000 square feet. And so we'll be housing, I think right now we have in that new facility, we're gonna have our print shop. Our wood shop is not gonna be able to fit, so we have our print shop, our 80 Acre Market, and I think that's it. So we've already outgrown our new facility, and we haven't even moved in. So they have already walked out there and started phase 2 of a project of a next building, which will be our framing. So all our wood shop things will happen there. It's gonna be a huge blessing for those facilities that we have scattered across Longview. Some of them don't have air conditioning, and so for them to move into that facility and have air conditioning, we are improving our employees' atmosphere, and it is a beautiful facility. I'm hoping at some point we'll be able to open that up and give tours for it, because it does not do justice to see how little it is on this picture, because it is massive. It is, and it's beautiful. The back of the property of that building is all glass, so they really, Josh and Holly really upgraded to make it a really nice experience for the employees that work there. That'll all be the break room, and it's just facing the pines. It's beautiful. We have, move-in date. Our move-in date, we are scheduled to move in May. We are hoping, it's been backed up just from COVID and a lack of being able to get supplies in. That put us back. There's been so many setbacks on that. So we are really hoping to get in there, because I live upstairs at 80 Acre Market, and each bedroom, because it used to be bedrooms, we have about 10 people in each bedroom. So we are really crammed. Everybody is doing their best of working makeshift, and it's pretty funny when you say, well, I work in house and I'm in a bedroom with 8 other people. So it just sounds weird, but they really are making it work as we can right now. But so for the property itself, with the permaculture and the garden build out and trying to supply food for our food trucks, community, our restaurant, we also want to add more funding. So some of those that are coming around the corner are going to be about 8 miles of walking trails. And Josh really wants to open that up during the week for people to come out. That comes into play with a lot of moving parts. We're not open to the public right now, except outside of market. So having those gates open at all times, we've got to work all those kinks out, having security on property and things like that. So he really wants that to happen, so I'm sure it's gonna happen because he green-lighted it. So as soon as we get those walking trails out, we'll probably kickstart them with a fun run. So be looking for that probably in the fall or around Christmas time. We have a swimming hole we're gonna dig, so people can come out there. It's gonna be lined and really nice. I know here in East Texas, our swimming holes are not very clean, so we're gonna make it clean and enjoyable for people to come out and swim. We have a fishing pond. We have a big pond that's on the map that it will have kayaks and kids can go down there and enjoy that. We will have music events, which is what Mia suggested just a little bit ago. We're gonna call those marquee nights. Was anybody able to go out to the 1844 lab events that we hosted? Okay, so we had ticketed events. They were free, but you had to reserve a ticket. And it was at our 1844 production house. That's where our production team cuts and edits and films different people that come out. And we had 8, was there 8 last year?
Around that number.
Yeah, we had about 8 live events and they are phenomenal. It was so much fun working those events. So we highlight musicians that are in the area. They're not super well known, but we're trying to get them, just give them a little push. And so we hosted them to come and do concerts. And Josh and Holly are just very, very loving of pouring out what we have to offer. So we had food and everything was decorated, kind of geared towards that artist. So we redecorated an entire house. There's a courtyard in the middle. Just what a wonderful atmosphere for those artists to be able to be pampered like that. So what we're doing is transferring that from 1844 out to the market so we can host more people. So we'll be able to give more visibility for those artists that come out, and that'll kickstart here pretty soon, probably in the fall. We've just hired on Meredith Crawford, who is an artist herself, so she has given us great insight in what musicians need and how to book, so we're really excited about kickstarting that. And then our food trucks, we have 4 food trucks. We would love to be able to get to a point where we get that refined so we can send those out to the community and start serving at different events and capacities that way. So I'm excited at the growth. It's fast, there's a lot of moving parts, and we're working those out, but it's just enjoyable to be able to partner with communities in the East Texas area and represent our company well, and also give back to these communities and people and who they represent. Do y'all have any questions? Yes.
How many people do y'all employ or will you employ once you get that warehouse open there?
Right now we have approximately 500 employees. Yeah, so and as we grow and build new buildings, we'll definitely need more people. I don't know the exact amount, so but right now we have about 500 employees.
Have y'all ever heard of Smallwood or Smallwood Home? Some say yes, some say no. So to back up for a second, so Josh and Holly Smallwood, they are the owners of 80 Acre Market. So they're the ones who lived in this house for a while and then turned it over to let us create something for the community. But the mothership is actually Smallwood Home. So that's when she's talking about the framing and all of that stuff that's going into the first phase of our campus. It's Smallwood Home. And so I wish I'd brought a picture with me, but I did not. But if you guys are passing through the brochure, you'll see some frames that have florals inside of it. And so that's a small glimpse into what Smallwoods is. But Smallwoods has been open for a little over 10 years now, actually. And it's a framing company, like picture frame company. And so our main thing with Smallwoods is you can upload your photo from your phone and put it into our editor app and get your photo within 3 to 5 business days. And the cool thing about it is we are very particular about paying attention to, again, you know, the quality of what our customers are gonna be getting. And so your frames are solid wood frames that are hand cut here in Longview, Texas, and then shipped out to you guys. And it's one of those things that's continuing to grow. Also something that grew extremely quickly. It's really cool. It's really exciting to see the next chapter of it, but something I would highly recommend for you guys to go check out. They're beautiful frames. There's different colors, different sizes. You can add acrylic and different things like that to it. So like I said, when she's talking about framing in the campus, that's what that is small enough.
And our facility is nestled almost entirely in Upshur County, which makes my heart happy. So I'm thankful to be able to, a lot of our income and revenue will help the Upshur County people. So I also would love to give you a plug. If you're interested in working at Smallwood, it's a wonderful place to work at Market. If you just want to work every other weekend, I would encourage you to come out, check it out, visit it, because you'll be hooked and you'll want to work there. It's amazing. That's what happened to me. This last weekend, we were able to give back to our market staff, which are part-time staff, and we did a scavenger hunt across the 80-acre parking lot, or right around 80 acres, just right around the parking lot, for the market staff. It was hilarious. They got to use our golf cart, so we had 13 teams, and they all had a walkie-talkie, and we set up riddles for them to go and find out what we're talking about. So the answer was location, and so they were going around, and I have video footage of them, but it was so much fun. And then Josh and Holly were generous and served them breakfast and lunch for that day, because it was Big Saturday. We had our Easter egg hunt, and it was nonstop all day long. We had so many people out there, so it's a really great place to work. It's fun. We provide great opportunities for everyone, and I love that almost everything that we produce is here in East Texas. So the only thing from the print shop that I can think of that we outsource is our wood, which Josh wants to do that locally, so we're looking into finding that locally, but that's from South Carolina, so we're still in the South, but I love the heart of it. So do y'all have any questions so far? Yes, sir.
So, your primary product is what?
Our primary product is the frames. So again, Smallwood, it's a little over 10 years old, and then 80-acre Market, it's just a little over a year old.
Okay. So, you say Smallwood homes,
Smallwood Home, so that's
but
the
you
name.
actually don't build homes, you build frames.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we have different entities. We have Smallwood Home, which is our framing company. You can look up smallwoodhome.com and check it out. They have things that you can personalize. They have art collections that you can print. You can send in your pictures and we'll print those, and different framing options. Then we have, Holly runs the Sweet Honey clothing. It's a clothing for kids, very cute. They also have Mom and Me outfits and bags and luggage and things like that. And then we have our 1844 Films, which is our production team, and they do a lot of our live events for our musicians, but there's a lot more coming down the road, so that's not limited to musicians. Then we have our 80-acre Market, and that's the one we're presenting today.
So, your production, say if I owned a company and I wanted to put out a video for marketing, do you do those for other people? Or
We
what?
haven't yet, but it's not to say we wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could give you information if you need it.
Any other questions? So one thing I just wanted to bring to attention as well, so like I said, we're open every other weekend, and there's always going to be special events out at the market. So obviously, you know, last weekend was Easter, so the kids got to do their Easter egg hunt and things like that. And as we all know, the balloon race is coming up very soon, and we will have 2 balloons out at the market that weekend, and it is also Father's Day weekend. So I highly suggest for you guys to bring the kids out there so they can see that. And then of course there'll be Father's Day activities and different things then. Yes.
Every other weekend, what happens if you have 5 weekends in a month?
It's the other weekend.
So
I'm
it's
a
not,
politician.
so it's not 1st and 3rd or 2nd and 4th, it's
No, you'll have
every
to
other.
follow our calendar. when we start. For Father's Day weekend, I do want to highlight, we'll have a blacksmith out there that'll be demonstrating. So we're going to have some geared activities and things for y'all. So, and if y'all have suggestions, come out to the market. We have a suggestion box. We would love to hear it. So if you think of something that you would like to do, I know a shooting range was mentioned earlier. So it's not, listen, it is not out of the question. So you suggest it and we'll try to meet that need.
Is it dog friendly?
It is.
It is, yeah. We do try to limit, dogs in the house. So if they do have, if you have a reason to keep your dog with you, medically or something like that, we're not gonna question that, but we would prefer to keep your dogs outside, but yes, it is dog friendly.
Thank you so much. Now, you mentioned that y'all are gonna have a couple of hot air balloons out there,
Yes.
so I could come ride in the hot air?
Well, okay, so.
I had to ask.
Okay, so the basket's probably gonna be this big.
Oh,
So,
okay.
the hot air balloons that we're gonna have out there, just because we have a lot of wind, we can't have, how tall are the big ones?
I can't remember, but so to back up, my job now, I used to run the store and helped, get everything started. So now I run community engagement. So I get to come out and do things like this and philanthropy work and things like that. And so I wanted to get the balloons out there because obviously, it's a East Texas deal and it's a pretty
It's a
big
big
ordeal,
event,
yeah.
we're hosting nationals this year, so.
Yes, and so the board was out there and they said, well, Mia, if we have a balloon, a regular sized balloon out here, you're gonna stand and just look at it. And you're not gonna be able to see anything, they said. But what they actually have now are these remote control balloons that are like,
They're
30
60,
feet tall,
no,
I
I
think?
think they're 60 feet tall.
Okay.
So they're still very large balloons, you're still gonna look up at them, but for photo op opportunities, with you standing right below them, you're gonna be able to get the balloon in the background. So you're not gonna have to go over to the barn to get a picture of your kid underneath the balloon. So they're definitely a great photo opportunity, and the pilots will be there on site. It's gonna be a really, really fun weekend. So I encourage y'all to come out Father's Day weekend for that.
Thank y'all so much.